Hello, my creative friends. Oh, I might turn the dryer off. Can you hear it? Oh, wow, that's going to go a long way to help you hear what's going on. Except for the dog that's barking in the background, but there's always something in this little funny town, isn't there? All right, today what we're going to do is just a quick coverage of this canvas, and then I'm just going to show you how you can use various things around the house for a swiping tool. I've read a lot, and it comes up frequently on many forums and Facebook groups, the question of what can I swipe with? And I really think the answer is anything. It's all about the pressure and the way that you drag that swiping tool across the canvas. And the trick to a really good swipe is not using too much paint to drag across. If we use too much paint, the coverage is too heavy and the beautiful cells or colors, paints that's underneath the swiped area has a struggle to emerge. So what I'm going to do is just cover this canvas here in various colors and then just put a thin line down the middle of the swiping color, which I've chosen to be quite a dark purple, but I might change my mind actually because it doesn't feel like a lot of that. And then I'm just going to show you what it's like to swipe with waxed paper or greased paper, a dry paper towel, a baby wipe, a wet paper towel, a spatula, and a piece of folder plastic. So without further ado, I'm just going to get on to covering this canvas and then we'll get into swiping mode. All right. I hope that's my biggest struggle, putting my glove on. Let's go. So these paints are just paints that I've had pre-mixed up for classes, and I'm wanting to use the last parts of them so I can get ready for my next lot of classes with fresh paints, and so I don't have unexpected surprises like that in a class too where we run out of a colour. And it happens. It will always happen to the colour that's popular and to someone's favourite colour as well. Oh, and this one hasn't been open for a while. There we go, got that. Just checking to make sure it's still got nice mix, and yes it does. This is a nice copper, it's a global. Most of these will be global though. I do have it mixed up and I stopped labeling the colours a long time ago. Even in my videos now, I don't really go into the colours. I figure that people should be using colours they love and matching it up to the colours that they have. There's a lot of pressure to buy. But we all know that pouring has its own addiction of buying too, don't we? Boy, oh boy, does it. So I'm just gonna, woo! And there's my marble. Those who don't know, when I mix up my paints, I like to pop a marble into my container so that when I go to use it, I can just tilt my container like this and the marble will help stir through the paints. All of this would be just mixed with Floetrol, and it does look like some of it's got silicone, but not all of it. So I'm not really too fussed on the coverage, but I don't want it to be too heavy, you know. Look, there's a bit of dried paint. We'll get that out in a second. You can see that the paint's a nice sort of more on the thicker side of consistency. I don't know if you've noticed, but if you have your paints a little bit thicker than that notion of warmed honey, you'll get a better outcome. For cells, that is. You know, most people are cell seekers. I'm not a massive cell seeker myself. I was though when I started, so I really do understand the fascination with it. And if you're a cell seeker, one of the most spectacular person who's done some great achievements with cell work is Julie Katz. And a person who's not been long on the video pouring scene, Jilly, get onto her too. I'll put her link in the bottom of this as you can see, I'm not very structured with the way that hello marble, with the way that I the way that I apply my paint. I'm not worried about it being in straight lines. In fact, I like the blended colors because I just think that it offers more. Oh, look at that big bit of fuchsia. It was quite thick, wasn't it? But anyway, let's just see how we go. Just don't want to lose too much of that paint because we can push it back up that side. Sorry about the back view of the canvas, but that just sometimes happens. Now I'm just going to use my little fingers, and believe me, they are little. I sometimes find size small gloves a little bit big. So I'm just going to use my little hands to pull the paint now across the whole canvas. Dapple, dapple. And I'm going to keep having to remind myself that this is a demonstration canvas, so I don't really need to worry about the sides being beautifully covered or anything. So once this swiping demonstration has taken place, I will most likely just scrape all of this paint off. And it's one of the great things about just using up my last bits of paint, being able to show you certain things or answer certain questions that I've seen repeatedly asked. Don't like that pink very much. It's incredibly translucent, which is good to remember for the future, but it just doesn't look like it's going to do much. Might just cover that bit there with some of, oh no, we used all of that, didn't we? Maybe a bit more of this blue here. There we go. And we'll call that covered because it well and truly is covered. And now I'll get ready to line up my swiping colour. Oh, I didn't decide, did I? I'm just going to line my swiping colour. Oh, if I do it in the middle, it's better for you to see. I'm not very prepared. I haven't done a video out in this spot for a while. I've been inside. Oh, my trusty towel was still there though. All right. Oh, I have looked like I've thought about it. I'm going to use maybe half with cream and half with purple so that we can even see the differences. So that's it. The cream. And this nice magenta-y violet purple. And let's start. So the first is a piece of cut out folder plastic, nice and pliable. And what I'm going to do is literally allow it to take grip and just slowly pull that cream over. We'll let that do whatever it's going to do. Oh, I don't think many of those paints do have silicone in them. So nonetheless, you can see the effect that the folder plastic has. The second example we're going to use is greaseproof paper. Again, just allowing it to, I like the greaseproof paper because I like seeing how much friction or how much it's sucked up of the paint. So it's got the cream attached, adhered to it, and now I'm just going to pull it down. Nice and carefully pulling it down. Whoa, it didn't have enough paint, did it? Look at that. So I'll just turn it over. I'll always use a clean area to swipe with. Otherwise the swipe gets muddy. Oh, haven't got that area very well. Never mind, just pop that there. Not sure what I want to do. I feel like I need to fix that. See, isn't it interesting? So just add a little bit more white and just want to cover it all the way down. Greaseproof paper. Down. Beautiful. Pew, 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 pew. Oh, I better do this side, better not. Oh, Well, let's see if that is enough paint. Grab, 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 and pull, pull, pull. That probably wasn't enough paint, but nonetheless, we're not worrying so much about what the effects are. We're just showing what tools we can use. And so far, we have used the plastic folder and grease-proof paper. The next thing is a baby wipe. We've always got them handy, so let's do it. Now we're coming to the cream and purple area. So I'm going to, you can see how that's sucked up the paint, and now pull this down. This is a bit heavier, you can see that it's heavier. No, I haven't made it that easy for myself there. I'll chuck that there and just decide what I'm going to do, because I think I need to show you that again. It wasn't a good demonstration. It's confusing because it looks like it hasn't happened, but it's because we had the white or the cream and the purple, and I really want you to see what happens with the one colour. So I've reapplied that. Get myself another baby wipe. Lay it out, knowing that those other bits of colours are going to come down, but it can look nice. And there we go. And what have we got left? I've got the wet paper towel, which will behave just like a baby wipe. So I'll do that. I'm going to open it up so I can just do this last bit all in one. And now I'm just bringing to your attention that we're swiping on purple, so it will look different. And it's probably a good thing just to see the differences of the colours, you know, the darker colour paint that goes over the other colours and the contrast with the lighter colour. So that's the magenta now. And what have I got left to show you? The light paper towel, so I'll do that here. I might just fold that so that I can use my spatula on the last bit there. So I want to have it that wide. And just do a little bit more thin there, just so I don't get too much of the other colour. Here we go. Now, this is a little bit harder because, I don't know, it just, I prefer the lightness of the wax paper versus the dry paper towel. But the point is that anything you've got on hand you can use if you feel like you need to swipe. And remembering that swiping is a really successful thing, or a really great option for when you feel like you don't have what you want. It can really help just lift a picture, an image. All right, and so this last bit that I'm going to do is with my trusty spatula. This is a brand new one, but I love them. It's just a cake one on an angle, and I just find it easy to use for so many things. I like using my layout of first bit of paint with it, and that's how it goes for a swipe. Always get a nice bit of colour. Gee, the light's not good, is it? It's pretty dark out here. Sorry about that. All right. So, I think I want to swipe down the middle just to integrate this all together, because we've got all that cream happening and then this nice magenta here. And I just want to swipe down the middle like that, just to get rid of that seam, and I feel like we'll give it a torch just to see what happens. And even though it's a practice piece, it's still pretty cute. All right, is that enough? And do I want to do a straight line? Yes, I do. So I'm going to just put the tiniest bit of this magenta there. And off I go. I'm not going to think about it too much. Can you hear me overthinking? Here we go. And of course I'm swiping away from myself, which is always more challenging for me. I prefer to swipe towards myself. And off off the canvas. All right. Oh, here I go, making a tree. Didn't know what I was doing, but I do love my trees. Okay, what have I got left over there? Not much. I think I'm looking for a bit of the waxed paper, and I'm going to pull those trunks out just the littlest bit more. So I'm just ripping my little bits of wax paper off now, and just going to grab a bit of that paint and make a broader branch. And same here. Oh, oops. Now I want that to be a bit more purpley, so I'm just going to do a dot, 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 and swipe them out. And then we'll torch it, and then we'll finish. And then I will laugh at myself by saying this was an experimental piece, but I really love the rainbow tree that we made. Da, 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 da. Not minding having the other colours run through the branch. Okay. Anything else I want to do? Do I want to get a little bit of the copper and swipe over here for the enhanced illusion of soil? Yes, I do. So much for the, come on, that's it, just the tiniest bit. So much for the idea of it being a demo piece. I love laughing at myself. All right, so I'm just going to help bring this little bit of copper in through here. Oh, that's not what I wanted, because I wanted to have the magenta as the ground, but I wanted a little bit more texture, so I'm just sort of doing this, whatever this movement's called. And when I say texture, I mean not flat straight lines, and that's better. That's much better for what I was looking for. All right, I really like it now. And so now I'm going to give it a torch, a resin torch. Ooh. Yeah, just a fast one. Yeah, as I suspected, I thought only one or two colours had silicon in it, and that's so evident with the cell development. But I really wanted you to see the swiping, and that swiping is all about the coverage of the paint. And I do like the little baby cells. I actually like them a lot more than the big plump ones. I find them too busy for the eye. Okay, and I'm working at the tree a lot, as you can see, to get the interaction with the paints and all that to come out for the illusion of bark. And that's it now. So the magic colour tree experiment was a success. I'll bring you in for a close-up. And here we go. Sorry, it's oh, that's better. Goodness me. So as you can see, the trunk's very, very gorgeous. But the other thing I want you to be looking at is the outcome of the swiping. You know, remembering that up here we used the plastic folder, then the grease-proof paper, then the baby wipe, then a paper towel, then a wet paper towel, then a spatula. and we get the consistent same result. So I think it's really about learning to feel that pressure and knowing that you're dragging the paint across the top. You don't need a huge amount of paint. And ta-da! What a beautiful, happy, gorgeous colour tree. How's your pouring going?